Hello, this is National Chess Master Coach Bill. I'm at chess.com, and I'm going to be reviewing games for my YouTube channel and for Twitch. I'm running a little promotion. If you want to get your games now analyzed, you're welcome to join one of the clubs that I have this promotion on. In this case, it's Chess Love India, and that's with dashes. The link is in the YouTube description below, and requirements are you must play at least a 30-minute time control game. I'm not going to analyze anything shorter than that, so leave your Blitz and Bullet games out. Blitz and Bullet is for elsewhere. It's not for my training. And here's the page from chess.com, which shows their computer analysis. And I really don't pay attention to their analysis. I give my own. But we can show you some steps, things you can do that will maybe help you if you analyze with their software. Okay, so let's look at the first thing, one of my first rules. Let's go to the end of the game. Okay, now this I find very critical, and it's to help your training here. Okay, Black has only used 4.5 minutes of his time, and White used about 7.5 minutes. Okay, so if you want to get better at chess, you have to slow down. All right, no title player got their title by playing this fast. You've got to take time to think, to plan, to calculate variations, examine candidate moves, and so forth. So as a result, when I get a game played at fast time control, I mean at fast time and a slow time control, I'm going to spend less time analyzing it. If you take your time, I'm going to spend more time. So let's come back to the initial position, and we'll go through the moves. Okay, so I'm not going to pay much attention. Here, this little icon indicates that you're playing a book move. How do you find book moves? Well, you buy books. You check them out at the library. You get databases. There's Chess 365 has a free online database. You just register an email account. You're good to go. Okay. Okay. So they're still playing book moves, and they're both developing their pieces. So everything looks fine now. Now, here it calls this move dubious. I disagree. It's a developing move. Maybe e4 is superior, but I don't pay much attention to the recommendations. As long as your game is fine positionally and you're developing your pieces, everything should be fine. Now here's a case. This move, it is given a dubious move, and there's a reason for this that I'll just explain. Okay, the knight is already developed. What you want to do is you want to complete your development. It was recommended castling. Bring the castle. Perhaps well you can't. Perhaps no, you can't really play queen here because then you're unprotecting this pawn. You may drop a pawn to a tactic. Bishop takes, pawn takes, and knight takes. So, if you're not sure what to do, develop a piece. Okay, so now here, White has just left the bishop sitting here and gone through with development, okay? And here we can just see, for an example, well, White did take some time on this move, but I want to point out you have an average of 40 seconds a move in game 30. If you, half the games last over 40 moves, and the other half last under. And if you took a total of 1,600 seconds on your first 40 moves, you're going to have 200 seconds left to finish the game. So, what I tell my students if they're playing a game 30, if they take longer than 40 seconds, I don't care if they make a blunder because they took their time. But anytime you go too quick, you're missing a chance to find a better move. So in this case, castling is superior. And if Black wants to take, that knight would have moved 3 times to capture a piece that moved once, and then in turn develop the white queen. So this move doesn't help Black at all. Okay, so White should just leave it there. And, it calls this move dubious. I disagree, but it's playable. Okay, so now here, we don't have to do this move. The logic being, what's this knight doing here? He's stuck. Let him find his own way back, okay, and save your move. Just castle here. These are the little timing things that can turn the game around into your favor. But maybe we have a win of a pawn if we go this way. Now I'm looking at tactically. The knight comes back. We take this, and then we capture twice here. So I'm a little slow on tactics sometimes, but it appears now that there's or we can take directly, and if the pawn takes, we can take back with the knight, and the knight is pinned. So maybe bishop d7 was a bad move, but here we miss it. Okay, so let's look at this. Pawn takes, knight takes, and how does black respond? He's just basically lost the pawn, and you know we can base this on the fact that let's see, white's clock goes from, he spent 13 seconds on the move. So, you know, you have only yourself to blame if you're making bad moves, if you're not taking your time. Okay, so now the game seems about even. Now here, black is still neglecting castling. It's calling that dubious. I don't really see why off the top of my head, but this is going to be a fast video. So here we see neglect on the, you know, let's get the king safe. I call that getting the chore done. Okay, now the computer is suggesting queen b3 to hit this, maybe, but we got to take care of development. And now we have an oops because this thing is unprotected. So that's a free piece. So how long did white take on d5? Well, he took 20 seconds. That's not enough time. You have 40 seconds. And since you're moving fast, you have even more time left. So now we can't take this. We have to throw in the solutions of knight takes, knight check. And then it's safe to recapture. So there goes the piece. Gets the piece back. But now black is up a pawn. Okay. They're not recommending this move. I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with it. Keeping it on e4 kept the bishop pinned. But that's not important. Okay, so here, you know, once again, what's wrong with getting castled? Your king is both kings are in the center and they're exposed. Now this is attacked and this is attacked. So something's giving. Now you missed winning the bishop. And why did you miss winning the bishop? Well, 28-18. You know, you spend 12 seconds on the move. That's just not going to cut it. You can't spend this short a time and expect to do well at chess. Okay, you get into a real tournament where you're trying to compete and get your rating up so you can play stronger players and eventually become a master. You're never going to get there if you play too fast. That's the whole intent of why I required 30-minute time controls. I'm not going to analyze blitz games, and you're playing a blitz game. So expect to see improvement. Now, some trades, and you know, we see both sides having castled. It's kind of hard for white to do that. Okay, now we pin this, but there's a problem. C6 will block the bishop attacking and putting an attack on the queen, or queen e4 check forces the bishop to come back. Then we could just take the queen. So, you know, moving too quick is the case. But here, look, queen e4 check. I mean, how does white get out of check? I'm calling this a double mistake. Okay, what am I missing? I guess he can play here. Okay, well, so. You know, sometimes I'm slow on tactics, but understand principles. This is correct. Now, white has two guys under attack, so he just gets rid of the attack on the queen, but now he gets pinned. See, so he gives up the queen, and you know, white's down a rook for a queen as well as a couple of pawns, and now he's putting the bishop in danger, although it can once again protect itself. Okay, now he does come back. Now there's an attack on the pawn, but you know, this rook is out of play. I mean, your move 23 and you haven't castled. You can't do this. You have to castle. Okay, grabs the pawn instead of getting the king safe. You know, you don't need this pawn to win the game. You need this rook to get in the game so you can deliver a checkmate. That will end the game. Okay, now it's time to castle because now white has a threat to pin your queen. Okay, well now you're going to lose your queen back. Just a little discovery check. I guess you'll be able to get the rook for it, but now the game is in doubt. And white does find the move, attacking the queen, and all of a sudden white is back in the game. So white has 3 pawns, black has 6, bishop opposite colors. White has outside drawing chances, but he needs to get rid of some pawns. And right now, this one's in danger, so it probably needs to move. Okay, now this is okay in a way, but you're just going to give up this pawn, and you're going to be facing 3 connected passed pawns. This pawn is weak, so you don't need it. Okay, should have grabbed this, just let the trade happen. Okay, now he saves that. So, white has some outside drawing chances because black has gotten careless. Okay, get the pass pawn rolling. Now white needs to erect a light squared blockade. Okay, get the king on the light squares, and the bishop already controls the light squares. Black will own the dark squares, white will own the light squares. And now this pawn is getting dangerous, and it's blockaded. Okay, so that's the first step. This pawn is protected, but now black needs to find a way to advance his pawns and use his king to help out to get a pawn through. Okay, so this is the right idea. This move might be restraining the queen side pawns, but rook c5 may turn around and win that pawn. So black has the right idea, and white just kind of biding time. And now, uh-oh, there goes a piece. We're going to drop rook d2 check. He misses it. Okay, what? How did you miss a one mover? I mean, rook check. Okay, the king has to go somewhere. And they just collect the bishop. Easy win. Okay, so you missed that check. But this comes from moving too quick. 26-12. So you spent 7 seconds on the move. You could spend 20 minutes on this move and still have ample time to finish the game. So you definitely need to take my word and slow down. It's the hardest thing to teach. I even will move too fast. But we've got to work on it. Now this in a way helps black if the bishops are traded, because the few drawing chances white might have are out off the board now. So it should be a routine win for black. And now you're going to pitch the rook, just a rook check in the back, and there wins the rook. But black might even do better with this move. This threatens mate. Play for mate when you can. Mate ends the game. That's what you want to do. How does white defend this? Any place he moves the rook, it's going to be a checkmate. The only way to avoid mate is play here. And, you still win the rook, but you had a chance for a mate. Okay, so for some fun, join Chess Love India. I thank you for watching, and stay tuned to this playlist. There'll be lots of useful games that you can look at and learn how to play chess better. And thanks again.